Um, so today, recently there was Andrew Tate is in the news for being arrested in somewhere in Florida. For those of you who doesn't know Andrew Tate, I think he was a world champion in kickboxing, and then eventually started having a some type of online streaming video, for like girl streaming videos, chat or something like that. And then started to build a online uh, kind of a mentor um, group where he's have these courses of different people training young men, or mostly young men, how to be a man and make money online and things like that. I believe a few years back, he claims that he was the most searched man on Google. So he has a lot of influence, and his main thing is, be a strong man, and men should be man, women should be woman. And very strong. He's very strong, very opinionated, and with his brother. From all the videos I see him, I think he's obviously achieved quite a bit, whether you like him or not. And his general message of men being strong, being a leader, being a warrior, not just in opinion, but in ability and effort. I think it's a good message. Again, that doesn't mean I agree with everything he says. But anyway, he's been recently been arrested and supposedly for human trafficking and things like that in Britain. Now, I want you to just watch this video on why he says he was arrested.
Because I'm too influential and I'm too dangerous. If I say I can influence an election right now.
That's a huge worry, isn't it?
It's scary for them. They're like, oh, who's this guy?
Yep.
And they've tried to get me to sell my soul. I'm not going to give too many stories, but on multiple occasions, they've tried to get me to sign contracts and offer me a bunch of money to shut up and agree to this and agree to that. And I won't do it. So now they're sitting there going, okay, there's this person with massive influence, perhaps the most influential man in the world. We've offered him to sell his soul so we can control him. He won't do it. He can influence things massively. He is a wild card. What do we do about this person? And they sit and go, okay, well, accuse him of something, put him in jail. And if that doesn't work, then it's like, oops, car crash.
So, I know, someone pretty smart said since the AI and automation is coming, there's two main industry that's going to be left. One is anything that leverage AI, to make that business or that investment better, or personal branding, having influence. And you see that across sports, across movies, and TV, and also now the new online media. So when you have people's attention, you can monetize that. Either yourself or other companies will advertise, sponsor you, or have brand deals, and so he's an influencer. So he's making a lot of fortune, again, through his online business of actually help teaching people how to build businesses, but also just being visible, having a lot of audience. Now the opposite side, the downside of being an influencer is this, right? You get the good and the bad. And so he's saying that because he's telling men to be strong, he has tremendous influence over his followers. And the establishment, whether it's British government or the U.S. government, they're worried about him having influence to say things against what the government or the controller want. And anyway, I don't know what your thoughts are with that. I mean, do you empathize with him, or do you think, hey, he profit from his attention, and when so you should, you deserve whatever that comes from that. um again, I tend to be a more empathetic person. I don't. Again, in general, I don't. I think being strong man is actually what society need. Um, but there's also always a risk of saying something against the government. In all my videos when I talk about UBI and AI and how automation and how there's people print can put digit in everyone's bank account, including lending hundreds of trillions of dollars to all the government and all the companies across the world. They ultimately control everything. But my message has always been that they won already, right? They're smarter and they're where they are because they're smarter. The main focus, I think, should be automation. In 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 years, machines are going to be the strongest, the most capable thing. And they could literally decide the outcome, whether the Terminator style or where everything's free. The Jack Fresco resource-based economy where they automate everything, increase production by thousands, tens of thousands of folds, where machines doing everything, producing everything. So there's plenty of things. And the only barrier is, well, the machine decided to give everybody all the things and actually overthrown the existing government and controller and actually say, hey, we're just going to give everybody everything. Or it'll be somewhere in between where the controllers, they're still in control, but they give you some form of universal basic income, where gradually more and more of us could leave the workforce and kind of just live life how you want to live, right? And then there's the other extreme where robots or the control decide, hey, we're just gonna use robot and Terminator style and get rid of people. Obviously, I hope it's the first version, right? Resource-based economy where machines doing all the work and humans are just free to do what they want. And that could be meaningless to most people, or it could be very meaningful, whatever they want. As long as it's not harming other people. That's the version I hope for. But I think what we're going to settle on is some type of universal basic income. And so now let's go back to Andrew Tate. I wish, I mean, I'm glad that his message is about being strong man, but I wish he could garner all his attention and kind of focus on universal basic income and how I believe that is what can help the entire human race. Just me here talking about universal basic income is probably not going to do much. Even if I have 1 billion views, it might mean something, but ultimately I don't get to decide, right? I don't get to put digit in your bank account. But hopefully, if enough people hears about it and suggest that's a good solution, the people who can actually do that, put digit in people's computer and through UBI or various form of universal basic income, hopefully they'll understand that it's really in all of our best interests. I mean, a world where you use robots to get rid of 90% of people, that's pretty traumatic for everyone who's left over, right? Now, I already said in the previous video, they probably won't let, Jack Fresco's resource-based economy where there's no money. That probably won't happen because they still need to retain some level of control. So anyway, I just wish Tate's focus is on UBI. I mean, if you're gonna get in trouble, you might as well focus on something that will help all humans, versus just hey, be a strong man and the rest. This kind of survival of the fittest, right? Be a strong man and the rest you'll just suffer. Anyway, I hope he has a good outcome. I do believe sometimes they paint these stories that if he eventually run for politics in Britain, or you run for politics in the state, then I guess maybe this was the whole point. Kind of you could create a villain. Create someone who the system is beating, and ultimately he goes in and run for office. anyway, I guess we'll see. We'll see in the next couple years, see what he end up in jail, dead, or running for politics. Uh, anyway, I'm I'm really trying to make these videos better. But again, I, like most of you, have a full-time job, and so I just feel like creating content um, is probably easier rather than plan everything out. Hopefully, this channel will get better. And I'm really grateful for your support. Thank you.